It was good to see practice today. I focused my attention on the wide receivers, and we'll hear from Brandin Cooks, who was on with the G-Bag Nation here in just a little bit. But my goodness, if you are ready to see these trio of wide receivers with Michael Gallup, Brandin Cooks, and CeeDee Lamb, you're going to be in for a treat this year, because watching Brandin Cooks, the professional route runner that he is, getting in and out of his breaks with extreme quickness, and he is going to be a fantastic addition to this wide receiver room. Michael Gallup, who I thought had a terrific practice today, was able to high point the football, was able to do some things. Dak Prescott, one of the best throws of the day, hitting Michael Gallup in the back of the end zone on the left side for a touchdown. Michael Gallup looking awful springy in today's practice, which I think bodes well for him as he's coming back from dealing with the torn ACL a couple seasons ago, and now coming into this season looking for a fresh start and going to be getting some veteran help from Brandin Cooks. So if you're excited about this wide receiver core, you're going to be looking to have some fun with CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and of course, Brandin Cooks, the new addition here. Speaking of Brandin Cooks, let's hear from him just a little bit. As I mentioned, he was on with the G-Bag Nation. Let's go with cut number 2 with Brandin Cooks here. Brandin, is it everything you could have expected so far by being a member of the Dallas Cowboys? Take a listen.
Absolutely. I mean, it's fun being around the guys, the coaches. I've truly been, having a great time just being around a bunch of ball players for sure.
So there you go. Enjoying his time so far with the Dallas Cowboys, a walking 1,000-yard receiver throughout the course of his career. He's going to bring leadership, a professionalism. CeeDee Lamb talking about that to us after practice today, about the things that he's learning so far from Brandin Cooks, and that is the professionalism that he brings, and not only taking care of his body, but how to become a better wide receiver and how to utilize the skill set that he has. We'll go with cut number 1 here. Brandin, how long have you wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy, and now that you're actually here?
I think I was probably right there with you, but hey, it all happens in due time.
So there you go. And all in due time. And of course, that time is now. Other observations, though, aside from the wide receivers, again, a fun group to watch, a tight-knit group. Simi Fehoko, Jalen Tolbert, who, of course, are battling for that wide receiver 4 position, who can step in and be able to step up and take that spot will be something that we discuss not only throughout the course of the rest of OTAs and minicamp, but going into training camp as well when they go out to California in late July. So plenty of time to talk about that. Also, the offensive line. Again, the text line 877-881-1053 if you want to get in on that conversation. The configuration that I saw today when looking at the starting offensive line had Tyler Smith at left tackle, Josh Ball at left guard, Matt Farniok at left guard. No, I had it right. Yeah, Josh Ball at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center, Matt Farniok at right guard, and Tyler Smith at left tackle. I think that's okay for now. Zach Martin wasn't practicing. When you look at Josh Ball at right guard and Matt Farniok at left guard, this is what you're going to be seeing right now. So, again, as I run it down, because I want to make sure I had it right for you, Tyron Smith was at right tackle. Josh Ball was at right guard. You had Tyler Biadasz at center, Matt Farniok at left guard, and Tyler Smith at left tackle. That was the configuration that I was able to see today. So, look, Zach Martin not participating in practice right now as he is on his way to Canton. But at the same time, you want to see this continuity for this team. We talk about all the time when it comes to the musical chairs, that the offensive line, that they don't necessarily want to play. Mike McCarthy not wanting to play fantasy football when it comes to this team. But Matt Farniok has got plenty of experience in playing at left guard. Chuma Odoga also going to get some time there at left guard as well throughout the course of this offseason. So as it is right now, your configuration that it appears based on what we're seeing in practice so far, Tyler Smith at left tackle, Farniok at left guard, Biadasz at center, with Ball maybe at right guard, and then Tyron Smith at right tackle while Zach Martin isn't practicing at the moment. So again, the best 5 that I would have, and Reg and I, we've talked about this on the course of the show, the best 5 that I would have, if you're going to tell me that Tyron Smith is going to be a part of your best 5 and remain on this roster, I want him playing at the best position where he's set to go to the Hall of Fame at, and that's at left tackle. While I understand for people who want to see Tyler Smith get started at left tackle, for him being the future at that position, not just going into this season, but beyond, maybe you want to see him start play left tackle right now. But for what you have in terms of your depth, and we talk about the position flex that all these offensive linemen have, their versatility and their ability to play multiple positions on the line, I would have Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, Biotish at center, Zach Martin at right guard, and then Terrence Steele, when he's healthy and good to go, at right tackle. You saw Tony Pollard and Terrence Steele working on the resistance cords today. When it comes to their rehab and what they're doing, we heard from Tony Pollard today as well. The first time we had heard from him since he injured his leg in the playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers. So today, 817, what about Steele? He was off to the side, working and continuing his rehab, working on the resistance cords and bands as well, as he's coming back from the torn ACL that he suffered last year. But it seems like he's getting on track. He was in uniform, working out, as this offensive line continues to gel and get the continuity that they're looking for to protect Dak Prescott. When you looked at what they were doing in 7-on-7 today, as I mentioned, the wide receivers were doing pretty well. And then also the offensive line was something that we were focusing on based on what this team has been discussing with the O-line. But back to Brandin Cooks, who, again, was part of this offseason where the Cowboys were able to acquire him from the Houston Texans and what he is going to be bringing. Let's go with cut number 9 here. Is CeeDee Lamb, Brandon, ready to take it to still yet another level coming off his second-team All-Pro season?
No question. I think just the way, like I said earlier on when I was asked, I mean, he's been electric since he got in the league, but last year you really seen him take that huge leap, and I think he's going to do that again for many reasons, obviously, because of how good he is, but also having other dogs around him that can present him with those one-on-ones. And, he get those one-on-ones, then, the rest take care of itself.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's going to have an opportunity to eat, not just because he is now certified himself as a bona fide number 1 wide receiver in this league, but the attention that Brandin Cooks is going to garner, the attention that Michael Gallup, a healthy Michael Gallup, is going to garner as well. There will be plenty of one-on-one opportunities for CeeDee Lamb to be able to make plays down the field. And remember, he can play in the slot, on the outside, can make catches across the middle. He is your complete number 1 wide receiver and really took that step last year, looking to build upon that. And this is a man in CeeDee Lamb who is not distracted. When we talked to him after practice today, he's 100% focused on his task at hand and what he needs to do, and is not worried about any potential contract extension, leaving that up to his agent to be able to figure that out, because he is eligible for a contract extension. His 5th-year option already picked up going into the 2024 season. He is ready to go and showed that throughout the course of today's practice. From the 682, do ACLs affect linemen like it does skill position players? I mean, look, you're talking about the get off from the line, your ability to slide from side to side, to be able to get downhill, to pull, and to get out in front of your running backs, to be able to help guys like Tony Pollard. Yeah, ACLs are extremely important for these offensive linemen, but you trust Britt Brown and this training staff for the Dallas Cowboys, world-renowned training staff, for their ability to help these players get ready to get on the field week in and week out. Terrence Steele, I think, is going to be fine, and once we get to training camp, and hopefully by the time we get to the regular season, he'll be good to go. And if not, the position flexibility that you've seen Tyron Smith be able to show at the end of last year, where at times he was okay at right tackle, I would prefer for him to be at left tackle. We know that he started his career at right tackle before eventually moving over. I want to see Terrence Steele reestablish himself there as the right tackle, not just of this year, but for the future as well, as he's entering into a contract year. So a big year for Terrence Steele in this offensive line. But again, it was good to get out there at practice today, to see the guys get out there and get their work done. A lot of energy at practice. Tristan Vizcaino went 6 of 8 in terms of his field goals. That's still a big thing for the Cowboys as well, to try to figure out who their next field goal kicker is going to be, if they want to bring in competition for him. All that remains to be answered throughout the course of this offseason.